Welcome back. I'm playing Warhammer 40,000 Battlesector, and we will get started on our first Tau multiplayer matchup. Thanks for waiting for me to get some of these uploaded here. I was having a lot of difficulty with people loading, not rage quitting on me, but we are going to be playing as the Blood Angels against the Tau. It's a 1,500 point match, and it has an 8-turn limit with 80 points as the target here. We're obviously playing on the Black Stone. This was my very first match playing against the Tau, and my first multiplayer match that I actually had the Tau there. So I was just kind of deploying everybody around here. I have it kind of broken into multiple areas here. I have two Sanguinary Guards, I think 5 Assault Squads, the 2 Predator Balls. I have the Lieutenant and the Sanguinary Priest. I had 30 points left, so I was just debating whether a Hand Flamer would be beneficial against the Tau, and I decided to do that. So I have the Assault Marine on the right side so I can jump around, and then 2 Assault Marines on the left side to try to capture that point, and then forces in the middle. And I ended up giving the Sanguinary Guard the Plasma Pistol too, because I thought the armor piercing may be beneficial against a lot of their units, just to keep using some of those points up here, and ultimately decided that would be more beneficial than the Flamer itself, because I could give them both the Plasma Pistols. So hopefully we can get up here and capture some points. So with the Lieutenant and his extra movement, you can come up here and capture this on the very first turn. You could do the same if you had land speeders. Moving these guys over here to come jump around. And what I'm trying to do is just keep him into cover here. Bring him down so we can hopefully start getting him into range of everybody else who's just running down here. And then over here, we'll just kind of get these guys into position too. But my thought was, oh, if I could just get these guys into melee, that should work in our favor, as the Tau don't really have good melee forces, and hopefully they'll be weak enough that I can chop them down. So it's 5 to 5. Now here, I was just trying to decide where I wanted to be. Ended up moving these guys up here to capture this point. And Fire Team, or Fire Warriors, were back there. Did some pretty good damage against me. But we were still able to take the point. I was trying to see if I could get any visualization here. And I was just trying to decide how far do I want to move these guys down. So I'm slowly using the Predators to try to soak up any reaction fire, get these guys into position. Pulling them back so they don't continue to get shot. And then here I was kind of making some mistakes, because I was like, well, how do I want to position these guys around? Because I need to stack my bonuses. I can see that he's now got the Fire Warriors, but the Tau unit there, I forget what it's called, has that railgun, so it has incredible range. So now it's like, shit, that's already done over a quarter of my health here. And then I see that those Crisis suits have the Fusion Blasters, which are the anti-vehicle variants. I thought, well, maybe we could do some more damage. But that did not work out well, because the Crisis suits actually have quite a bit of armor. So I'm kind of overextending myself a little bit here, because I was like, well, I wanted to close the distance if he's going to have all this range on me, because I don't have a Tech Marine to be able to heal anything. So I'm like, well, we'll move these guys up here. But then I forgot that the Sanguinary Priest melee damage buff only has 1 square. So then I kind of try to rectify this by moving everybody around so I could hopefully get the buff damage, but I don't know, it was late at night and I just could not seem to figure out how to do this for some reason. So obviously I should just move the Sanguinary Priest up, and then I could have taken care of it. Because the issue is, you can't move your jump infantry and then use the jump packs, because the game will start significantly punish you in terms of your movement. And so I see he's got the Pariah here. It's got the Fusion Blaster, which is the single unit attack, so I should be able to move these guys around. So I'm just going to move them up to be able to throw some crack grenades around. And it lands its attack, but it's like no big deal. Do 70 damage there. And we'll just force these guys to run over here and trigger some overwatches. And we capture that point now too, so now it's 3-1 in our favor. And so that brings us to 20-10. And he's got his ethereal there, and so he's starting to use both of the buffs on all of his units, giving them increased HP and evasion. He's using his marker lights, and now he's able to just launch those missile pods from the crisis suits. And then the Tau suit there, broadside, has a free missile attack. I didn't realize that was a free attack for a couple of different matches that I've played. So you can just totally annihilate Sanguinary Guard, Assault Marines, everything like that. He's got the stealth suits, and I can't see them because they're stealthed. And so he's totally just nailing down my Predator tanks right now. I'm thinking, oh, well, at least I'm holding this position down well. But then he drops in his commander, and that has the Flamer. So he's a hard counter to Assault Marines here. So he's able to do 2 flame attacks, so he's going to be able to kill those guys effectively every turn. And then he just moves them up here with that extra AP, and he captures that point back from me. Because he has 9 armor there. So it's like the one Assault Marine is not going to be able to get the kill there, and he's now trapped in there. So I'm glad that the Tau seemed to be a hard counter to the Assault Marine play. I'm actually kind of curious to try to figure out what would be the best way to build the Space Marines out to be able to counter them, because now you have to worry about, you know, him taking out our high-value Assault Marines and Sanguinary Guard from range. He can take out our vehicles with everything. And then the one thing I didn't really think about is the Breachers are incredibly powerful, and so they can actually be really good against countering your Assault Infantry too. So it's like it doesn't even necessarily make sense for you to bring the Assault Marines. Now, what I found out here is with the stealth suits, if you try to jump into the square that they are, it'll activate a zone of control, so they'll get an attack on you, but then it nullifies their stealth capabilities. And the other thing to know, and I didn't know this at that time, but I was confused. I'm like, why wouldn't he have captured that point? And the reason he didn't capture the point with the stealth suits is once you've activated their stealth, if you capture the point, it actually cancels out the stealth and you lose it. So I learned that on, unfortunately, another match that I'm currently playing. So that was a thought. Now I'm just trying to decide, well, where do I jump these Sanguinary Guard down, because I want to be able to get over here and get some kills. And I'm not quite sure how to advance. So it's like, well, I don't think he has anybody over here, but now I'm kind of worried, is he going to have a stealth suit over here? But I think with all the points he has invested that I must pretty much have everything squared away. So it's like, well, he's facing this way, so let's try to just get a bunch of rear attacks, and we should be able to do some good damage. But because of that shield that these guys have, it's a 15% damage reduction. They're actually incredibly tanky, so they're a big pain in the ass to kill. I suspect that they're going to get nerfed, because they definitely feel too overtuned for what they can do, because they're fairly cheap. You can make them go invisible. They can be anti-vehicle or anti-infantry. They can have jump packs. and they have a ton of armor. So just everything together about these guys, especially at their point cost, just makes them really difficult. And then I see that these are all breachers, so if I try to jump in there and do the charge attack, he's definitely going to get suppressed and is probably going to get killed. So I can't even get there with the Sanguinary Guard. So I'm like, what the hell am I going to do here? It's like, well, maybe we'll run these guys down. It's like, do I try to bring them back to the center, or do I run them down here with the hopes that I can jump over and try to get them into combat, but I'm not holding my breath there. And it's like I had kind of messed up my abilities here. I gave the Chalice a little bit too late. I didn't give the, damage boost. Had I done that, I wouldn't have needed to put my Lieutenant in such a compromised position. So there's definitely some pretty bad plays. I was feeling pretty rusty on this match, and then, like I said, I wasn't really sure the best way to play against the Tau, because I hadn't even completed a campaign on planetary supremacy with them yet. So but I wanted to get some matches uploaded for you guys, because I've been getting a lot of comments that people are struggling with the Tau and they really want to get some ideas on what to do. So ultimately, I just kind of moving these guys behind the obelisk there, because I'm like, well, let's just try to keep them into cover and see what we can do. And I'm also worried that my HQ commanders are going to get sniped by all of his ranged units here. So I'm definitely in a bad position. And then we have the commander over here, so I'm like, what am I even going to do? He's got all this bonus HP. I've got a 60% chance to hit. I didn't want to use their buff because I didn't want the flamers to be able to one-shot him, because I wasn't sure if that was going to be a thing or not. But it's like I didn't even break through his bonus HP here, and now they're definitely going to be dead between those two flamer attacks. So the tower, definitely a hard counter to the assault marine spam. So he's, and as a thought, just gonna flame these guys down, and now I've totally lost this side of the map here. I still have a strategic point win, but that's not going to be continuing. He's throwing down all of those rockets here. Now, one of the things I struggle with is, like, should I focus down killing the squads or not? And I have very mixed feelings about it, because if you kill units with the Tau, it gives momentum to everybody else. Now, these breachers are probably another unit that I think are going to get nerfed, because they do way too much right now. They can have potentially 3 actions per turn, so they're an incredible unit. So definitely most players seem to be bringing a lot of breachers with them, because you can do a regular attack, you can throw down their grenades, which have a AoE effect, and it decreases evasion and accuracy of the units. It sticks around for multiple turns. It's a free action, and then that's not the only thing. And it works on vehicles. I forgot to mention that too. So he just blinded my vehicle by doing that as well. And then they have the marker lights as well. So it's like all these things together, you can just get some crazy accuracy buffs here. Now, I was quite disappointed with the strafing run there. I was thinking that was going to do a lot more damage, given that the Tau infantry don't have a lot of armor, but that was not the case here. So it's like, well, I'm trying to keep these guys alive, but I'm trying to decide, do I jump down here and try to attack them? But then you still got breachers that still have their overwatch, so I thought, well, these guys are probably going to die if that's the case, so maybe I can just run up here and capture this point. And then I do have the plasma pistols, so I thought that would give me enough damage that maybe I could kill some of these crisis units. And I feel like I gotta drop these breachers due to all the damage that they're doing to me. But due to being blind, it's like my Predator tank can barely do anything right now. But the breachers, not only do they have potentially 3 actions per turn, but their shotguns, for whatever reason, can do incredible armor piercing as well. So it's like an anti-everything unit for, I think they cost 90 points. So they're definitely heavy hitters, and if you're looking to use a Tau infantry armor, you definitely want to be bringing the breachers out here. So I'm just trying to figure out, well, is there any way I can really kill some of these guys? Because I would like to try to capture these points back, but things are clearly not going well for me, and I'm sitting here just kind of shocked with how badly I'm losing this match right now. So it was definitely a very humble first match against the Tau. I'm just trying to figure out, well, with all these units, if I keep them down here, the breaches are just going to blow him apart in addition to that railgun. So it's like, well, maybe I can keep him alive if I hide him behind the obelisk here. But between stealth suits, the anti-vehicle pariah, all these breachers, I'm like, this is not going well. And I know these guys are about to die, so it's like I might as well just use their buff here to get more accuracy and crit chances. But didn't have enough shots, couldn't kill any models there. So it's like, alright, well, this is not going well. It's like, yes, I know it's still a 3-2 strategic point, but I have minimal forces left here. And his commander has jump packs. And he's got all these missile attacks, so he's definitely able to take me out. And then I forgot that I had already healed my sanguinary guard, so I was like, oh, I was bringing these guys over here to be able to do some healing. But that was a bad time for sure. So I'm just kind of looking over the things because I don't even know what a lot of their abilities do at this point in time. But it's 50-30. So he's throwing down that grenade here. He's launching the missiles. He's hitting my guys with other missiles. And then because of the lower evasion and then marker lights, he's able to easily kill those guys. And then with that one little path, or one little fire warrior, he captures that point back. So now he's able to just bring his guys over here leisurely to start mopping up the last of my forces. He's trying to snipe my commander here, so I can't spawn in more units. And then with the commander, if you bring him over, he's got a passive buff as well to increase accuracy and damage. So you definitely want to get him over around all these other guys here. So he's just kind of bringing everybody over as much as he can. And then he brought his ethereal over there to start buffing his guys again. But as you can see, just with so many of those guys, you can marker light. Every one of them can do a marker light on a unit every turn. So it's like, oh shit. It's like I'm losing guys, but so now I should be able to do my strafing again. Because I don't think he's going to be able to survive long enough to be able to call in some assault marines. Those guys' temporary HP is back up again because the ethereal's ability was off a cooldown. It's like I'm not too worried about those tactical drones, but maybe I should be because I don't want them to run around and capture the point, but then the commander will be able to do that anyways. So it's like, well, let's try to at least take out this pariah because he's going to be able to assassinate things. Now I was just trying to decide, where do I want to put him? But I ended up healing here, and I'm not sure that was really made any sense in retrospect, because all of the units he has is going to be able to do way more than 38 damage. So I think I should have just focused on attacks instead. I do throw that, and I didn't realize that pariahs explode on death, so I just nuked my own guys even more. So if I hadn't healed, I would have just killed my lieutenant, but at the same time, there's no reason I shouldn't have been able to just move my guys and prevent them from taking that damage. So I critically crippled myself there. I ended up killing those breachers here, and as you saw, everybody got momentum for on his forces because of the models I'm killing here. So again, like, do I kill and do squad wipes or not? But at the same time, I don't want to ignore them because they can still marker light me, and then breachers obviously still do damage, and they have that grenade that sticks around for 2 turns. So it's just like, man, what am I gonna do here? So I just bring the Predator up here, kind of resigning that it's gonna die no matter what. So I'm hoping that he'll at least blow it up and maybe damage his own guys here with the explosion. But it's pretty clear now that the writing is on the wall that I'm just getting my ass handed to me here. I was hoping that maybe, just maybe, I could sneak out a victory point victory, but it seems pretty clear that that is not going to be happening here. So he sniped him out. Just bringing these guys up. He's able to re-buff them up here. Debuffs those guys. Snipes that guy out. Runs with the drones here to be able to take them out. Uses the breachers to take him out. And then because they had movement, they were able to move before the explosion went off. And so he has mentioned that he thought it was the most balanced faction. I'm not sure that I think it's really very balanced right now from what I'm seeing. I definitely have to do more, a lot more matches to try to figure out what to do. But this was clearly a really bad force selection to use on this map. And then I got suppressed here because I was a charge attack. So I can't even close in to try to capture that back. So it's like, well, I'm definitely dead. So let's just spawn that and try to kill some models. And I couldn't even kill 2 of the breachers there with my tactical marine. So at this point in time, I just end up conceding because there's no way that I'm going to be able to rectify anything here. So it was definitely a fun match, very humbling to see how well the Tau can do, especially against the Space Marine jump infantry spam. I'm wondering if maybe doing some aggressors with some inceptors may be a good option. I think possibly Terminators as well. But the main issue is trying to figure out how to counter the breachers, because you want to get them into melee range so you can really mess up all of his units. You need to have somebody that's going to be able to survive all the damage that the breachers are going to be able to do to you. So I'm going to have to think over this a little bit. I think Hellblasters are going to be really good, because you're going to be able to use the heavy plasma incinerators to be able to snipe down both crisis suits, stealth suits, and any sort of, I don't know what to call them, mechs, I guess, that they would be able to bring, and you'd be able to snipe their heroes and the commander unit down, and that'll stop the perpetuity of buffs that could be happening. Although even just the regular Hellblasters with their weapons may do well, because they can have multiple shots, they can be used against the infantry, and they still have enough armor piercing that they could maybe do some damage. I think Dreadnoughts with the Flamers could be good too, because then you could run in there and flame the breachers. Now, I don't think they're going to be able to one-shot them, because most people are going to be giving them evasion and bonus HP because of the ethereal. So you'd have to use a couple of them, or you may be able to just sit there and use their frag grenade and snipe some down potentially. But again, with so much of their Tau units having armor piercing, I'm not sure that's going to work out well either. So definitely well played by our opponent here. If you're playing against Space Marines, having missile launchers, those missile pods with the crisis suits, and then the broadside, you can definitely just wipe out sanguinary guard squads before they even can get to you. And I'm suspicious that the missile pods may take several attacks, but I suspect that they're going to be able to take out other units as well. And then then by using the stealth suits, you can run in there, capture points. Make sure you capture the point before you activate the stealth suit, or else you're going to cancel out your stealth. And then the other things, you can't use the jump pack when you're in stealth as well. And then seeing how you're able to get 3 actions per turn with the breachers, using your commander to capture points and then use his flamer. So there's lots of really good plays by our opponent here to see how to use the Tau to win these strategic command matches. I think that's by far going to be their greatest strength, is these strategic command maps. I think they're going to be an absolute nightmare to try to take out, potentially with the Conquer too, if you just have guys in stealth and kind of hiding out to stop them from getting attacked. But definitely looking forward to playing matches as both the Tau and against the Tau to try to come up with some new strategies. Once I have more matches under my belt, I can start to put together some tip sections, but I think that's still going to be a couple weeks in the making, because I don't feel that I have enough experience to be able to give any expert opinions on anything yet. So I'm going to continue to do the other factions to give people better ideas while I'm still trying to sort out the Tau. So thanks for watching. I hope you're enjoying these videos. If you are, please give my channel a like and subscribe. It encourages me to post more content for you. Have a great day.